Hey Brick Maniacs, welcome back to another Friday Sit Rep. We're going old school back at the bar here because Dan is in studio with us, back up from the Southern Design Studio, so to speak. Hopefully you guys have noticed we are indeed running a Mad Minute sale right now, so you can use that promo code MADMIN to save yourself 20% all the way through Sunday night. So make sure you can get into a retail store if you're near one of those locations. Otherwise, you can use that promo code online as well. Pretty much everything, including the new pre-order. Here we have the Panther, which is just an absolutely wicked looking tank. We'll get into that in just a second. So we do have a standalone minifigure as well. That one is in stock and ready to ship. No pre-orders there. But with the Panther, we also have a potential upgrade of an exclusive modern German rifleman, which we know has been a highly requested figure as well. So the only way to get that for now is going to add it on to your Panther pre-order. So we'll see what the future holds there. But that's the way to get it right now. This tank is absolutely massive though, and it's got a very unique camo scheme to it and whatever. So where did the inspiration for this come from, and how did you get it up off the ground?
Well, this is the Rheinmetall KF51, basically the armored vehicle number 51. But they're calling it the Panther, so there's some lineage going back to World War II there. The famous, one of the probably the most famous.
Right.
Yeah, I guess the Tiger, of course, is A1, but the Panther was the
very effective, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was the actual mass-produced tank that the German army was most feared for during World War II. So this is a new version. This is a new upgraded. It was just released on the world. It was announced to the world that this was a thing last year. So we're not even a year old.
Yeah, still in development from what I understand.
Yeah. So it's essentially a whole new tank, a whole new fighting system being designed in Germany. The hull is actually a Leopard 2 hull.
Yep.
It's a Leopard 2A4 that they've repurposed. The actual upgrade and stuff is all in the turret.
Which it looks very, very different from pretty much anything you've seen out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a little bit more unique armor. It's not just a Leopard 2. It's Leopard 2 hull. There's some other things going on with the armor on the sides of the hull and all that stuff. But up in the upstairs is where all the action is.
Right.
You've got in the turret, you've got your commander and your gunner, but there's no loader. They've replaced the entire 120 millimeter gun with a larger 130 millimeter gun, and that extra centimeter, that extra 10 millimeters, may not seem like a whole lot, but if you go Google it, and
it packs a punch.
Well, look at the shell size. So here's our normal anti-tank round, and then here's the new one. It's not just a little bit wider. It's huge.
Right.
Yeah. And this thing is equipped with an auto loader, so they've completely eliminated the need for a loader. It can do burst firing. It can do all kinds of in the age of first shot is probably first kill. Having that auto loader and having it all automated, the weapon system, the firing system, everything is super important. So 130 millimeter gun can basically rapid fire. It's almost like a machine gun of artillery of steel. You have a thermal sight up there for your commander that can go 360. So it's basically the same concept as the M1A2 Abrams, where the
you can see without having to poke your head out.
Right, and all around. So the gunner has a thermal sight up front that's basically facing forward. The commander has a 360 panoramic view. And then the inside of this thing I can't replicate it in here because we can't get the guys down on the turret. This thing's such a brick. But they have they're all glass, basically panoramic stations where there's workstations. So you can turn to the left and you can see out the left side of the tank as if it was a window. It's actually not. Cameras and sensors all around this whole thing. So we'll take these guys out of here. They're stand-in crewmen, of course. Close these hatches up, and you'll notice that behind I think that would be the gunner's station. I'm not sure where the gunner.
Almost looks like rocket pods.
It is. It's actually it's a pop-up dispenser. It's a pop-up launcher for what are they? They're Hero 120 drones.
Oh, interesting.
So loitering munition. These drones have a range of about 25 miles. So this thing on the battlefield, I mean, you have already, because of this new, longer, bigger gun, it can outrange pretty much any tank on the battlefield. But what's dangerous to a tank is long-range artillery.
Right.
So this thing actually has these drones. They're basically kamikaze drones with about 100. It's a 25-mile range. I don't know. They can loiter for several hours. So they're basically out there looking for the enemy, whatever is going to be potentially lethal to this guy.
Wow.
So we do have the launcher. It does just kind of pop up and pop down in the turret here. So that's the way it really is. So they have 4. I believe they can carry up to 8 of these drones. The launcher only has 4 stations. So then you also have this gun on the back. So
Is that what that is? Okay, I was wondering.
it's a remote weapon station. So this is the Natter. It's a Rheinmetall, their own unique station. They have a sort of weird shaping around it to like sort of disrupt the shape of the gun, so to speak. So
Very Star
it
Wars-esque.
is another. It has its own viewfinder, everything. So one thing that's unique about this tank is all the different people inside. You have the driver, the gunner, the commander, and there's actually a 4th station that's an optional 4th station. They have the controls for all the guys have all the same controls. So the tank commander
People go down, you can start to fill in. Yeah.
And if you're launching the drone, any one of those people, if your tank's just sitting there not doing nothing, your driver could be flying the drone. So you actually have all your crew stations could be, it's all digital.
Makes sense.
And they're thinking that, well, if now that we've basically given every crew station control of every system on the vehicle, we can take the crew out of the vehicle, put those guys in a trailer somewhere. So this is potentially a drone tank as well.
Oh, wow.
So that's,
It's the future.
I feel like a
suppose.
salesperson for Rheinmetall, but I've been watching these videos making this tank, and
Kind of blowing your mind.
Yeah. It's pretty unique. So this gun. It's like a remote weapons operating system. It's basically, I'm guessing it's an MG3 or something. It's for anti-aircraft, anti-drone, self-defense. There are other active protection systems on here, including like chaff and smoke dispensers.
Sure.
And then there's for like kinetic rounds, there is actual, they can shoot out little rockets that will pre-detonate incoming rounds. It's pretty
All
wild.
about protection, survivability,
right.
I suppose.
So it's all next generation stuff. It's pretty neat. So there's only, in the world, I believe there's only the one made so far. It's basically a concept platform. They're talking about making these. There's even talk about building a plant in the Ukraine to manufacture these as their next tank. But
Absolutely crazy. What a unique tank. I mean, very, very few and far between do we touch on futuristic models, so to speak, and especially from a tank version, just not something you see too terribly often in the Brickmania arsenal. So definitely a cool, unique model from that standpoint. The other thing too is that like camo scheme wise, this thing is just kind of wild. Like you were saying, it's like a spring camo, right?
it must be. I mean, if you're thinking about it, like what do you have a lot? You've been to Germany. You got a lot of like deciduous forests. You get a lot of pine forest. But the spring, all these trees are like super bright green.
Bloom and all that
so
stuff.
So it's like a spring camouflage. So it's kind of it's unique to this thing. And also it's the only tank I've seen with this camouflage. I mean, everything Rheinmetall unveiled at their show last year, where they revealed this thing, all had the same camouflage. So it's pretty signature to them. So if you're like keeping an eye on the world of tanks, you would know that this is actually a Rheinmetall. Instantly recognizable.
Yeah. Well, and the shape itself is so unique. I'd say that if you're keeping up on any of these modern vehicles, you'd probably recognize this right away, just because there's not really a tank out there that looks like it.
The color and the shape, yeah. And I had a lot of fun building it. We did, camera guy did make me some new tank barrels for this thing.
Look at that depression angle. Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
No, you can't just elevate. You got to
No, that's
depress
awesome.
them. So they're basically the same as what's on the Abrams, are just a different length. So this is a new tank barrel. This is something that we could be using again in the future. And then if we have excess capacity, we could start selling these things. I don't want to get everybody's hopes up that they're going to be available in mass anytime soon. It's all depending on what we have going on any given day.
Yep.
We have a
and
lot
the
of
colors
parts
and everything else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So other features. I'm going to run through this.
Yeah,
This
please
is
do.
actually kind of a unique model. The whole thing is just really rock solid. Just the lower hull is 900 pieces.
Yeah, it looks like a brick.
It's like that's a Tiger tank right there without the turret even. So I did tile the bottom, which was kind of fun to do, but it does have that working suspension. So if you're sort of used to that from all the MBTs and the bigger tanks that we've done lately, all have the working suspension. So this is no exception. It just sits real low. It's just because of all the weight on it. So very similar to the Leopard 2 that we did recently. It's not the same, but it's very similar. And of course the turret, you do have your full rotation.
Yeah, the size of it is just absolutely incredible. I mean, we were just looking at that Aussie Abrams, and you'd think about that, but this is all solid. There's no racks or anything back here.
No,
It's
it's
huge.
full. You have that extra, extra loitering munitions, those drones in there. There are actually, the real thing has 2 quadcopters as well, so they can do aerial reconnaissance. You can't see over the next rise. You want to see what's over that hill without exposing yourself. You just fly your quadcopter.
It's literally a self-propelled battle station.
There will be, right now, as we speak, Slam is down in the design room working on the printed parts for this. So there'll be several printed pieces. The front has some pretty characteristic headlights, tail lights as well. The whole back grille will be printed.
Okay.
There's some sensors and stuff that will be printed. So that's all in the works. There's actually the sides of this, the sheath over the barrel will be printed as well.
Okay,
So
sweet.
there'll be plenty of cool new printed pieces to go around, but not overdoing it at all by any means. It will come with 1 figure. I had 2 figures here. We're just going to be one figure with it. We'll see if we maybe in the future we'll release a separate German.
Yeah, we've had new German tankers designs that we did with the Leopard and whatnot too. Those were also exclusive, but potentially available.
This will be
in the
this one.
future.
This new one is unique actually, so it will not be the same.
Oh,
as
it won't be
Leopard.
the same as the. Yeah, fair
No,
enough.
it's a different crewman altogether. So
would make
you have
sense.
a new rifleman and a new tanker that will be coming with this tank, exclusive to this tank.
Yeah, and remember, if you want to get your hands on that Rifleman, you got to pre-order it with the Panther for now, because that's the way it's going to work here moving forward with some of those highly requested exclusive figures with that. So nice chance to get in on the upgrade and secure that pre-order, which is obviously going to be crazy cool. This thing is just wild.
Instead of getting 2 tankers, you're getting 1 tanker and a rifleman.
Exactly,
essentially. But you have to actually pay for the extra rifleman if you want it.
Should you so choose. But obviously, sweeten the deal a little bit because all weekend long you can save 20% on this and your Rifleman and everything else with that promo code MADMIN at checkout. I do want to give this guy a spin real quick here. This is a World War II German infantry with that splinter smock.
Shifting gears to World War II.
Yeah, right. So staying in Germany, but shifting gears back, a little bit. So that's one of our newest releases that we've got available standalone, which we've been able to do a couple of them here and there. Otherwise, restocking a lot of figures, and then as you guys have seen, a lot of what we've been doing is adding those figures onto those kits for the first time available, and then having them available standalone later on, and when they're actually done and reach production. But this guy is a complete standalone. He wasn't previously involved with any vehicles, so something that you can use, for your own army builder purposes or backfilling, or if you just want to collect. Obviously, all of those things are fair and valid.
And this is part of a new series that we're doing. We are relaunching. I mean, we do still do a lot of World War II stuff, but we are trying to fill in a lot of the blanks in our minifig series. In the past, we've done, hey, here's our rifleman, but we don't have like the machine gunner. We don't have so. I think last year we did it with the Africa Corps, where we had the different various
pouches.
Yep, and we're doing the same thing. So there will be other Splinter Camo guys coming out. There's more Wehrmacht stuff. There's more Americans. It's just the list is going to go on. So all throughout the next few months, you're going to see variants of you not just have one guy. That's like, I have 50 of the same guy. You actually get some variants. They'll be more specific.
You can do some squad building.
Right. And some guys without pouches at all. They're not, maybe equipment operators, vehicle drivers, artillerymen.
You need clerks too.
You need guys to lug the equipment up to the front.
What do they say? For every one person pulling a trigger, there's like 9 guys in a support role or something like that.
Probably more.
Definitely part of the deal. When it comes to that. So there you have it. Those are the new releases and the new pre-order for this week here on brickmania.com. Like I said, you can use that promo code MADMIN, save yourself 20% on everything all the way through Sunday night. There are some additional exceptions with retail stuff, but just ask your associate for details and they'll be able to fill you in on all of that. And then speaking of stuff coming up on the horizon, remember we got World War Brick just around the corner here in June. Then we'll be celebrating the anniversary of our Chicago store during Brick World weekend. We'll be over in the UK for Tank Fest, and then it's right off to Brick Fair, Virginia come August to keep the celebration rolling, so to speak. So looking forward to having that summer on the road. Dan and I will be getting around quite a little bit to see you guys and hope that you guys can meet up with us, whenever possible, because we definitely like doing that, and it's fun to see people as those dates draw closer. Remember too, if you're going to be signing up for World War Brick stuff, that we're going to have more information heading out specifically for weekend pass holders. So keep an eye on that inbox as we get closer, as we're talking about space needed for mocks, volunteers, all that kind of fun stuff. And then obviously everybody's interested to know the schedule rundown. We've heard some good feedback when it comes to that, so we've got a kind of a new take on what we'll be doing here in 2023. And then who knows, maybe we'll even have something special in store for 24. You'll have to just wait and see.
Oh, we do. We do. And we're going to be dropping the exclusive kit, the kit exclusive. That's all, it's in the pipeline. So just stay tuned. It's coming very soon. We're like in the home stretch to World War Brick now. So the exclusive kits, exclusive figures, they're in production. We just haven't revealed them yet.
Yeah, just keep an eye on social media. That's where we'll put those out there. So, and then people who know World War Bricks in the past, where Will Chapman from Brick Arms has done a special Friday night presentation, we are going to be returning that for 2023, and then we'll also have speakers from all over the place doing various presentations throughout the public time during Saturday and Sunday on the weekends. So very excited for everybody who's going to participate in that way. And then there'll be obviously the cool mocks and everything else that people love about World War Brick being featured there as well. So we're looking forward to it in 2023. But I think we've babbled long enough for a Friday sit rep. So as always, thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.